What's up, guys? It's McNulty here. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all doing well. Honestly, there's been too many famous people dying this week. Like Ozzy Osbourne's gone, Hulk Hogan's gone. I mean, I know we've all got a time, but I mean, I can only assume they were avid Empires and Puzzles players and they just grabbed every single hero out of the Fated Summon and had freaking massive coronaries. Probably not, but I'm just saying that is basically what we're going to be talking about today. And there's been a lot of controversy regarding this Fated Summon. I just want to say up front that I have completely no involvement in being, given anything from SG or in being able to exploit the Fated Summon. But somehow I've been roped into it by somebody on the forum, and I'm not mad at it, by the way. But yeah, we are going to get into this now. In case you don't know, on Monday, there was a massive problem or glitch in the system with the Fated Summon, and some players managed to get literally every single hero out of this list right when it went live. And there is a lot of pushback from the community, as you can imagine. So I think it's quite important because there are a few things behind this that I don't think are being handled correctly. And yeah, I just want to show you the forum post. Thank you to GTI for calling me out. It says, can almost guarantee none of these new Empires and Puzzles content creators with the biggest reach to our audience will speak their mind on it. For rear, I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be fear, for fear of being removed from the program. At McNulty, welcome to be proven wrong or completely proven wrong. Mate, I will never back down from a challenge. Honestly, I'm there with you. I mean, it's fight the power all day long, us against the developers. I couldn't be more for it. Honestly, I've never, ever been one to back down from a challenge. And to be honest, I've not really held my mouth over the years, I don't think, in regards to this. And the creators program at the end of the day was something that I've been asking for ages, and they just happened to do it. I know they can take things away. They giveth and SG taketh away. And I'm happy to accept that. But what I'm not happy about is when they pull some weird, freaky shit that is just trying to pull the wool over everybody's eyes. And if this is that, we'll get to the bottom of it. But yeah, thanks for the comment. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to feel. I guess I kind of feel honored. So I think what we have to really do with this one is probably go back to the beginning, because there's about 174 comments and this thing is just growing and growing and growing. But for those people who have no idea what went on, if you go directly to pretty much the top post, one of the Small Giant staffers kind of mentioned here what's happened. So it says, an unexpected error affected the Fated Summon on Monday after the list of available heroes was refreshed. This allowed players whose Fated Summon counter was full to claim more than one hero. Doesn't really say what it actually did, because I believe it wasn't just more than one hero. It was literally the whole batch of 20 heroes. It also caused a visual issue where the Fated Summon counter did not appear to increase when eligible summons were conducted. The error was corrected less than an hour after it was discovered. Right, so let's just stop there for a minute. This is not the first time that there's been a massive error like this with Small Giant. There have been multiple times where we've had heroes that were released with incorrect stats, heroes that were released with a weird looking special on the card. I had to go back and redo my reviews because obviously they'd corrected those errors and things like that. There have been errors when it comes to food bundles. There's been an error at the Soul Exchange that we had where you could get 2 copies of Ma'at with the costume, and that was fixed obviously afterwards, and they just said, yeah, it's kind of a mistake, we'll make good. But the biggest question to me is, why so many mistakes? Why so many mistakes? And these mistakes that are happening are all a bit more recent, and to me it smacks of, these are the kind of errors that you make when you put too much when you've got more than you can handle on your plate at any one time. The player base for Empires and Puzzles is not growing exponentially as it used to do. And what the devs are doing and what they have been doing is they've been just pumping out new heroes, pumping power creep to the moon, releasing Dragonspire, putting all of these extra things in place that they then need to manage. Every single hero's special skill needs to be managed. Bugs needs to be fixed. You need a massive team to be able to do that. You need a growing game and a growing team. But with a game that's not growing at an exponential rate, can you afford to be releasing all of these things? Or should you strip things back and make sure that you can get it right before you start doing this? And then you won't have these kind of errors happen, because you'll have somebody test in the Fated Summon the day before it goes live, not putting it live, fixing a bug that you didn't know about, or something that was wrong in the system. I'm not a freaking IT bod, so I don't know a huge amount about it. But what I do know about is that there's been a lot of mistakes, and it kind of screams to me that maybe you're bitten off a little bit more than you can chew. Small Giant Games for now. But that is my first point. So I'm not saying there wasn't a bug and it didn't need to be fixed. I'm just saying it might not have been there in the first place. So moving on, it says we've taken steps to restore a level playing field for all. Is that true? Is it true that the steps that you've taken is to restore a level playing field for all? We'll park it there. We may come back to it in just a second, because I'll tell you exactly what they've done, and then you decide whether it's a level playing field. Our preferred solution, it says in this case, would have been to simply remove the additional heroes after the first legitimate claim. Unfortunately, the technical implication of this solution was not simple and presented risks to the accuracy of the removals, more importantly, the integrity of player accounts, although they don't take cases of knowing exploitation lightly. Well, they kind of do, because it happens all the time. It happens all the time. And I'll tell you why this one's bigger than others, and I'll tell you it now before I forget it. The biggest reason why this one is different from others is because they've just given 25 stars to a whole bunch of players. And that means that with Soul Exchange coming up, they've got 20 heroes that they can put towards Soul Exchange, so they don't need to build up those heroes in their rosters. And who are the majority of people who actually wait for the Fated Summon reset? It's not the pay-to-play players. It's not the pay-to-win players. It's not the whales. It's the people like you and me who don't spend a great deal on this game, or maybe a little bit here and there. Probably the free-to-play and the very cheap-to-play, or the cheap-to-play players. Those were the ones who are waiting for the reset. And those are the ones who are going to try and find ways to get the most out of a gacha game. And you know what? I don't blame them for a second. I don't. And I'll tell you why. Because isn't that exactly the job of a gacha game? Is to, well, encourage, from the developer side, almost to encourage cheating for a price. Like we can pay for time speed ups, which you would normally get for free in quite a lot of other gacha games and stuff like that. You can pay for, what else did I've just got some notes here, just so I don't go off track as well. I'm an old freaking man. I've been playing Empires and Puzzles too long. It's messed with my brain. I mean, they pay for extra speed, pay for boost, charge for materials, troops, everything, literally everything. And when you take something like the Fated Summon, that's where you're building up heroes, and you know the free-to-play are gonna try and exploit and get in where they can. You know, we're all gonna try and use a hero that doesn't require extra mats if you bring one out against Titans, like that, you know, Shark Eye, for example. Like, yeah, we can exploit that a little bit. And that's what we're encouraged to do as playing part of this game. So when you put in place a bugged out Fated Summon where free heroes are dropping left, right, and center, you shouldn't be surprised that folks are going to take advantage of that. That's all I'm saying on the matter. But yeah, I hope that kind of makes sense and the point comes across, to be fair. Back to the point now about we've taken steps to restore a level playing field for all. I don't even think we need to go through all of this. It's maybe a bit more. So it says an alternative solution, they've opted to leave extra heroes in place. Okay, that's where things get interesting. So it says they're going to send a gift to players who claimed a hero from the Fated Summon while the bug was live and chose not to exploit the situation. Thank you for choosing fair play. How the heck do you know that they chose that? Maybe they just chose the hero and freaking moved on with their day thinking they'd done their Fated Summon. And then an hour later, they moved on. And then today they suddenly got a gift in their inbox. What about the players that were maybe at, 70? What about the players that were at 85? What about the players that were at 99 that, could have potentially summoned and didn't? What about them? Like, how is it, as you say, taking steps to restore a level playing field for all? I'm not sure. I mean, maybe that's the best solution, but at the same time, you're leaving players with 20 heroes that they wouldn't otherwise have. And you're basically saying that whoever wasn't building up Fated Summons towards that, it kind of doesn't really, you kind of, it's not really making it a level playing field is what I'm trying to say. It's a tricky situation to resolve, but there are a few solutions, a couple of which you may not freaking like. So one of the solutions is get in there, get the freaking heroes back that you gave them, and then you've got a level playing field, as you say. You get the heroes back, and then everything is leveled out. If you can't do that, then as a lot of people are saying in the chat and everything that I've been reading on the forum, is just you'll have to give those heroes to everybody. You don't really have a choice. And then you push Fated Summon, Soul Exchange forward. That's your prerogative. But at the end of the day, if it depends also on how many people got them. I wish they would share with us the statistics of exactly how many people got 20 heroes from the Fated Summon, because it's got to be a pretty decent number. Word spreads fast. Trust me, I know. When they gave me, like 500 codes or something like that, it was gone within 10 minutes. So yeah, word spreads fast. Empires and puzzles, trust me. So I can imagine that quite a few people probably did exploit that to the max, but it'd be nice for us to know exactly how many. So you're saying, if you're saying you can't reset, 20 heroes on accounts of 10 players, then that's kind of odd. Like, you can deal with that in a different way. But if it's like 10,000 players, then maybe that gives you a different sort of slant to what you're trying to tell us here. But as it is, I'm not completely convinced. Like I said, it's just really about money. At the end of the day, you can give those 20 heroes to everyone for free. If you're going to let the guys who got them keep them. And, I'm not saying they should suffer consequences either. As I said in the beginning, I don't think they've done anything wrong. Okay. But yeah, we'll get to that more in just a bit, because there is some freaking red tape all over the show, unfortunately, with this one, which has been there for probably for this kind of situation. And probably most of us have never, ever looked into it. So it says here, additionally, players who claim Fated Summons, they get a little reward, which is actually pretty decent. I think they get like 5 legendary hero tokens with guarantees a legendary hero. It's just going to give you the base version. Yeah, if you've got the tune, then obviously you're in luck. If you don't, it's just going to give you the base version of like a season 1 hero. But they get 5 of those as compensation, as well as a bunch of trainer heroes and a few alpha ethers. I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, you need to extend the net on that one, even to people who maybe didn't have a full Fated Summon. And I'm not just saying that because I didn't have a full Fated Summon, but because of what I've already said so far. Okay. It says, we're grateful that many players reached out via support to report the bug, and the majority put the community and fairness first. So they're saying the majority did that? Yeah, okay. Fair enough. But then, yeah, see some freaking proof. Or just give us the stuff and we'll call it a day. Right. So, yeah, it does. Sorry, I just don't want to lose my place. So it does say, for further information on what we consider cheating, to review the support article. So I'll click on that one. It basically takes you to this whole support article talking about what they consider cheating. And then it says cheating and abuse of the systems in violation of our terms of service. So now I don't want to bore anyone to death, but I did actually on the back of this go and have a look at the terms of service. And I believe this is what they are applying or alluding to with that. It says that we agree, and points 1 and 2 are kind of moot. But point 3 here is you will not use, promote, or make available any bug, glitch, exploit, cheat, mod menu, hack, script, bot, unauthorized mod, or other methods to interact with the services resulting in a breach of this agreement. So basically, you're not to exploit any bug or glitch in the system. And that's part of the terms of service, which I'm guessing that we probably all have agreed to at some point. But I mean, what's the chances you're going to bloody read this thing? And there's a lot that in here that is not really on the side of the players, unfortunately. It says this includes, so I think that's basically the main point that I wanted to do by sharing this. There is a section on consequences and notifications of law enforcement. I think honestly, if you went to law enforcement saying that dudes have just taken like 20 heroes from, years ago that we released because we made a mistake, I think they'd just honestly laugh in your face. They would hear anyway. And then that's pretty much the main bit of that. Updates, modifications, and sunset. So this is basically where they say that they can amend people's accounts or sunset, they say, whether in whole or in part, any part of their services, virtual items, or virtual items for a valid reason. Valid reasons include, without limitation, improvement of their services, content on your account, such as new features or safety, security. So, I mean, they should then be able to get in there and remove those heroes from people's accounts. It should just be a case of, you have to send the player a message. They have to let you know whether they had the heroes beforehand or not. And then just let them, just give a little bit of trust to people, because trust me, a little bit of trust goes a long way. I mean, people all the time say it on my videos and they say like, when you see pull videos or when you see people comment about who they've pulled, that they're just talking shit. And trust me, 99% of the time, you'll find that you're wrong. And that player actually has pulled those heroes. He actually has done like 3 pulls, whatever it might be. People don't like to lie, but they do like to share about things when they're good. Some people like to lie, but they're very few and far between, a lot fewer and further between than you'd like to believe. Anyways, and then this bit I kept on here just because I thought it was kind of interesting. So auto-generated players, apparently, it says that as part of the certain services, they may offer you the opportunity to play with other live players as teammates. Sorry, I moved myself around. That was weird. But then it also says that some of the teammates or matched opponents may be computer controlled entities that appear as intended to play like real players. So if you ever thought you might be playing against a bot, or you might even have a bot in your alliance, I don't even know how it works, that could be a real thing. That's just pretty cool. So I just thought that was awesome. But I just wanted to let you know, I did have a look through these. Again, it says, they can terminate or suspend the account. So it seems like there is a recourse for this. And I think that it probably should be, they should be able to do what they said that they could do initially is kind of all that I'm saying there. Personally, if you want my personal take on it, I do think that the most fair option, since you've kind of messed it up, even though it was rectified after an hour, if you're going to start giving out compensation to people who just happen to be online, not to exploit it, or happen to have their, fated summon counter at the right part, then I don't think you can say that you're creating a level playing field again. I think it really is a case of you have to either remove the heroes or you have to kind of open this up to everybody. As much as you probably don't want to do it because it's going to lose a boatload of money through fated summons, I don't think that it'd be the end of the world, and I do think that that would be a good way to get on the right side of the players. So yeah, those are my thoughts on this whole debacle. Please do let me know what you guys think in the comments. And obviously, I want this to be a way of sort of reaching out to the community as well. Let me know if you've received anything. Let me know if you were lucky enough to grab these guys. Let me know if you can think of any other interesting solutions. And of course, I'll be able to pin them in the comments. I'll be able to share them to a degree as well. And like, contrary to what the dude on the forum thinks, I don't have much sway in terms of speaking to people at Small Giant Games, etc. Like, literally only have contact with the same people that you do. But yeah, we do have this medium through video and stuff. So yeah, hopefully that video has been helpful. Please do let me know in the comments what you guys think. Drop us a like and subscribe to the channel as well. If you're not subscribed, then yeah, please do subscribe. If you enjoy the content and you don't want to miss anything in the future, drop us a like, share it with your mother, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye for now.